Go. 3, 2, and 1. Well, here we go. Mary Katie, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here at WSAU and WSAU.com. I guess the first question, of course, is how much sleep have you gotten this week? And how many tweets have you sent regarding the election?
Okay, so first of all, sleep is a construct, and tweets are, you don't keep count of them, right? I guess I should look. It's probably too many.
Probably,
An embarrassing amount.
maybe, but yeah, that's just another thing. It's just a number, right? It's like
Yes.
right? It's just
Yes.
yes, but I think a lot of people were following along with you last Tuesday on election day as you basically barnstormed every polling location, taking the temperature everywhere across the city and kept us updated right through till when the final ballots were counted here in Wausau.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So it's my first presidential election here in this spot. I went through the last one with the county, kind of hovering over Nan Kotke's shoulder when she was counting. So she's probably pleased to be retired right now. But it was a lot of fun. We had massive turnout. And, while we were 87% and I was pushing for 100, 87% is pretty good. And we have thousands more registered voters this time around. So we got a lot of people out making their voices heard. So I hope everyone feels like they accomplished what they set out to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it was you and I talked off air a little bit. You're talking to a little bit of a sabermetrics baseball numbers guy. It is impossible to have 100% voter turnout unless your polls are 100% accurate. There's always people moving and things like that. And yes, it is actually possible to have what would look like more than 100% turnout because, as you mentioned, the same day registration. But I think 87% is certainly something that every Wausau resident should be proud of because it sounds like most of the city got the message either before election day or the day of to get that ballot cast.
Oh, yeah. We had 51% of the electorate vote before Election Day. So that was massive and huge. So it was awesome. And they spent all day on Tuesday counting those ballots at Central Countdown in the chambers. They had 4 machines going. It still took a long time to get it done.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure it's something that come next week because again, this process is not done. You're going to be canvassing.
Yep, more to canvas.
Pretty soon. Could you give us just maybe a little bit of an idea? Because you said you've done this a couple of times of what that process is like for canvassing, because that's going to be the count that then goes to the election commission to be finalized on December 1st.
Yeah, so the way these things work, the municipal clerk, so our clerk Leslie and her team went through all the ballots. Right now they're kind of making sure everything is updated on the WSVote website and all of that. But we've turned over our ballots to the county clerk's office. So now it's on them. They kind of go through, they check. I mean, we've already checked things, but they check through it again just to make sure there are no inconsistencies or anything weird. And then we'll eventually have our final count. I don't expect it to be too far off. Now, if there is a recount, that's a little bit more thorough, and it can be a little bit different here. So I'm kind of waiting to hear what's going to happen. We had a recount 4 years ago, and sounds like it might be happening again.
So just exactly how involved are you going to be in that process if there is a recount, or are you right now just in standing by for further instructions from the state?
Yeah, so we're waiting. The county clerk will be in charge of that process, but we'll send our team over to help. And of course, as much as I say like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep on the weekends because they work straight through the weekends. I'll probably be over there checking things out and seeing how it goes and seeing how many people are interested in that process. Maybe I'll tweet about it.
I'm sure you will. We'll be looking forward to that, but I think there's a lot of people that appreciate that too, and that kind of transparency, because there's been a lot made about the vote total and the vote counts here in Wisconsin. A lot of information out there. Some of it is true. Most of it leans towards the PolitiFact pants on fire end of the spectrum. But just give us your take on it. How secure has this process been? How much confidence should the people of Wausau have in that their ballot was counted and counted accurately?
Yeah, I think the people of Wausau and the people of Marathon County, you should feel very good about this process. Now, this is small government, this is decentralization. That's how this works. So you can't have widespread voter fraud in this kind of a scenario where each municipal clerk is in charge of the election. So we have all of our clerks and staff, they swear to uphold that constitution. And they take it very seriously, and everyone that's been working on this election takes it seriously. We had observers. There's just no possible way to see any widespread voter fraud in any world. So you should feel real good about this, Wasa.
I think there's a lot of people that that are going to sleep a little easier now, knowing, hearing that, and knowing that their vote was counted and counted accurately.
Yeah, I did ask. There were 3 votes that were rejected, and I guess they were ballots that were absentee ballots, and they didn't have the witness signature on them. They weren't certified. And our team has tried contacting these people multiple times, even before the election. So that's one of those things. If you were not contacted by our office that your vote was rejected, it wasn't. So
Yeah, no news is good news in this
yes.
situation. We do have some things other than the election to talk about. Maybe one of your first big acts as mayor, not dealing with the election. Give us an update of what's going on with the Wausau Opportunity Zone and a deal that you've kind of worked out to a good deal, I guess you would say, for the residents of the city as to what the future of that building is going to be, or the Center Mall is going to be.
Yeah, so one of the things, like I would say the last year and a half that I kind of talked about was the development agreements, right? Like this is where the city really has the power to decide what you want to do. So you can get up there and make statements and you can even pass resolutions, but everything that matters is going to be in that development agreement. So when I came in, I was like, give me that development agreement. Let me see. And we did have another ask from them, but I said, there are a couple of things that I'm going to need in order for us to make this work for the city. And so I would say there are a couple of things here that are big from my end. Those annual payments of $327,000, we're not doing that anymore. So that means that we save $1.9 million just on that alone. No more annual payments. That initial $1 million loan that the city agreed to last year, we're going to get $660,000 of that back in cash payments, which is good for us. One of my big complaints was that, like, what do I know what's going to be on that site? What I can't have an empty lot there. It needs to be paying back for the city. So WAS has agreed to pay the real estate taxes on the mall's 2020 assessed value if the new development isn't producing that for us. So that's a security for the city that we'll get that back. And then we'll also retain the Sears parking ramp. They're going to say they're not going to exercise the option to purchase that for $1. So we'll keep that. It's good. We'll keep charging our friends at the county to park there, and we'll keep it up. We'll maintain it. So I think it's good. It's good news for the city all around.
And anytime that you're talking about cost savings like that, especially in a year like this, that's got to be something that perks up residents' ears, because things, they're going to be tight. It was the first thing that you asked when you got into office on day one. Let me see what the budget's going to look like. Let me see how COVID-19 is going to impact that. So this is money that is going to come back, and the city, either is going to be able to invest somewhere else or use to offset costs somewhere else.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think it's our opportunity to reinvest that into some of the services that the city provides, or reinvest it back into economic development so that we're gaining on that. Right? It's not a lost cause, so it'll be good. I feel really good about those updates. So I guess it goes to the finance committee next, and then to the council. So I assume that the council will react favorably to this.
Mm-hmm. And then we will see what goes there at the site, because I think there's still a lot of people that are kind of wondering just exactly what's going to be there. But I think another thing that people should feel good about in that agreement is, you said, if you don't hustle up and get something here on this site, then
show me the money anyway.
Exactly. Your value, your breaks are going to go away.
Yeah. Yep.
So is there any idea yet from the Wausau Opportunity Zone people just exactly what they're leaning towards, or are we going to have some more discussions on that in the near future?
Yeah, I think the discussions need to continue. I've heard a couple of I mean, they're better than rumors, but I don't think they're ready for prime time yet. So I kind of want to let them share that with the community instead of me offering you the rumors. But there's some good stuff in the works. I just did the thing I hate that people do, kind of like telling you about. But they're still negotiating with some of their
Sure.
partners and their developers. So I feel good about what could be ahead.
Blink twice if it's going to be a movie theater.
I'm not blinking. Have you seen how hard the movie theaters were hit because of COVID? We'll be lucky if
Exactly. Yeah.
they exist.
That's certainly something we're not going to be seeing anytime soon. I think it's just still another joke that people like to throw out there about the mall every.
I know. You want a Red Lobster. You want a Trader Joe's. You want, what is the other one? A Costco. You
Yeah,
want a movie theater. I've heard roller skating rink. I mean, frankly, I would love a roller skating rink too. But
time will tell. Time will
yep.
tell over the next couple of years. Lastly, then, before we let you go, we kind of alluded to city budget time here a little
Hmm.
bit earlier. It is getting to crunch time. This is your first go around with the city budget. Tell us what that's been like, how much that's put on your plate here recently, and what can the taxpayers expect later this month when that comes through for a full discussion.
Yeah, so obviously we've heard a lot. There was a reval this year, so assessments went up. But luckily, through this process, we've kept the mill rate down, so that's good. And I asked the team to look at what they needed, just the cost to continue. And unfortunately, with inflation and all of that, it's more than $1 million to do next year what we did this year. But I think we did pretty well. There's a couple of outstanding requests from some of the departments, which I wanted to make sure that the council could consider, because these are the machinations of government. I could unilaterally decide, but I would kind of like a little bit of policy guidance here. Otherwise, I want to make sure I'm involving our our policy body here, right? So we had some really good workshops, and I feel good about it.
Any idea then as to what people can expect, or are we going to stay tuned on that again?
Well, so we'll be spending around $96 million of your money. So I think one of the things that's interesting to me is the emphasis we're putting on communication. This year the finance committee approved some money that I could put together a plan for a new website, which I'm very excited about. The budget also calls for increasing a videographer position, which will be helpful. We've been able to send out some videos from the police department, but I think broader across the city, I think we could use a little bit better communication. So kind of emphasizing that. Yeah, so I feel really good. Strategic planning, obviously you heard me say it a million times last year. It's happening. So stay tuned for that.
All right. Sounds good. Well, we always appreciate the time. Mary Katie, get some rest.
No,
Get ready to go for spring 2021.
yeah,
Oh,
that DPI race is going to heat up.
absolutely. And in spring 2021 election, I'm sure you're going to be getting word out about that in the next few weeks here, right?
Oh yeah, yep. They'll have. I'm not sure. I haven't heard from the school district yet, but I'm sure there'll be some conversations about what's next for them too.
So absolutely. We'll look forward to that. And again, we'll look forward to chatting next month as well to wrap up the year.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon, morning, all of it.
All of it. Yes.